It's your Monday upgrade, cause the view is live. Con Manafort, the former Trump campaign manager, surrenders to the FBI after getting hit with 12 charges. Is this just the beginning? Spacey out. The Oscar winner comes out as a gay man after apologizing to an actor for alleged sexual misconduct. Then, he's the hip-hop-loving, hog-riding preacher who helped Bieber see the light. Pastor Carl Lentz on the wild ways he's getting rock star-sized crowds back to the church. And a brand new View Your Deal. Let's fire up Hot Topics with Whoopi, Sarah Haynes, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, and Meghan McCain. Now, let's get things started.
So, the morning has been rather interesting. Former campaign manager for the new guy, Paul Manafort, just surrendered to the FBI after getting hit with 12 charges, including conspiracy against the U.S. Are you okay back there?
They're so happy.
You were shocked to hear it, I know. A video that is going viral that some kind of think might be a glimpse of things to come. Take a look.
Faces and smile for a moment.
I want to just be clear. That was actually scenes from the show Daredevil with the theme song from To Russia with Love. But, and some, I don't know who did it, but they did a beautiful job. It looks like a really great thing. It is not real, okay? I just want to make sure people understand that, because people say, oh my God, they put this thing out there and they said this was real. We know it's not real. It is a mock-up. It's that somebody sent out, okay?
But it's not real yet.
But the new guy is not backing down. This morning he tweeted, sorry, this is years ago before Paul Manafort was part of the campaign. But why aren't crooked Hillary and the Dems the focus?
Oh, God. Well, this behavior actually goes into 2016, so it was into the actual campaigin. That is not a true statement. But the other thing is, I just keep thinking this nothing burger sure tastes really good. Anyone else? Like, I was told I was crazy for so long, and I was starting. Well, I think people kept saying, you know, depending on where you were watching, which I was trying to cross-reference my sources so I could see what everyone was saying. Some people were saying, oh, the obsession with this Russia, it's just crazy, and I just feel a little better because I was beginning to think, is it all in my head? Are these all coincidences? Like,
You know, this is the indictment, by the way, everyone.
But you know what? We don't know what we don't know yet. Let's not get, like, let's just, we don't even know exactly what's happening.
But if we talk about the indictment, which is a fact, right? Because I have it right here.
You know what's also a fact is that it came out last week that the DNC and Hillary Clinton has ties through this Fusion GPS Oppo research group, and they also paid money to get this Russian dossier. Now, I'm not saying, I don't like the term.
Isn't that normal to have opposition research?
It's not through the Russian, not with Russian operatives, which Hillary Clinton did as well.
It's not that it came out to Trump, but I'm saying I always had a problem with the fact that there was a crazy amount of ties.
But this is the ultimate breakdown of democracy and the humor and levity surrounding it on both sides. And by the way, I would like to say that there's a quote that just came out.
Wait. Let's not talk about both sides.
Can I please finish?
Well, no. Let's not talk about both sides. Let's talk about what's happening today.
And the dossier.
Hillary Clinton is not the president, and Hillary Clinton wasn't just indicted.
You know what? I'm trying to give you guys insight because I actually know a lot.
We don't need insight into Hillary Clinton.
Let her talk.
Okay. You don't need any insight.
No, Meghan, I want to hear.
You know what? Paul Manafort, I will say, for those of us who work in Republican politics, has always been someone who has been ethically ambiguous for a very long time because of these money dealings and allegedly taking money from Ukrainian officials in the Russian government. We all know the story about Don Jr. meeting up with the Russian operative allegedly to get Oppo research on Hillary Clinton. A source to the White House just said to Sarah Murray, these guys were bad guys when they started, they were bad guys when they left. So during the campaign, when he was hiring people like Roger Stone and Paul Manafort, it raised a lot of alarms for people like me, because in interpolitical circles, your campaign operatives are a reflection of the candidate.
Yeah.
And I will just say, we don't know what we don't know at this point, but to sort of like poo-poo the idea that the DNC is now also attached to this Russian dossier is what makes Republicans' head go crazy. I'm not saying
but it's a
President Trump. I'm not saying President Trump
Megan. And also, can I just say a couple?
Why are we even talking about the DNC? Why are we talking about Hillary? Why aren't we talking about the two people who were indicted today?
You're the same thing. You're vilifying them.
Listen. You know what? You know what really bothers me? 75% of the Republicans in this country do not think it's a big deal that the Russians invaded our country through cyber attacks.
President Obama told Mitt Romney that it was a 1980s foreign policy, and the 2012 Republican
President Obama wasn't indicted today.
Democrats didn't take this seriously. You know what? President Obama did not take Russia seriously. I'm just trying to explain to you my side of the aisle.
But let us give it a little to you, too.
But I'm just saying it's intellectually dishonest to say that Democrats have always cared about Russia until it started impacting our election. President Obama did not take it seriously. I just quoted you what he said to Mitt Romney.
I'm talking about something else. 75% of Republicans do not think it's important to invade our democracy.
That is not
I think
true.
that's outrageous. Yes, it is a fact. I saw it this morning on news.
My family is sanctioned from ever visiting Russia because my father is such an adversary to Putin.
Well, you're in the 25%, Megan, and you and your dad are in the 25%. I'm not talking about the entire Republican Party. It's very disheartening to hear this about this people in this country, that they don't care about the democracy that we have worked so hard, that your family and mine have fought so hard to preserve.
Megan, it is the worst part of this election for me. Is the sort of normalizing of Vladimir Putin. I 100% agree with you. He's a dictator and a thug, and you just have to Google Boris Nemtsov and on to see what he has done. But I'm just saying, don't underestimate the politicization of this as well.
Well, Megan, what I was going to say is when you brought up the thing about
the one conservative in here.
the dossier and stuff, if it comes out that there's more collusion on any side, I'll always be concerned. But I think the timing of bringing up Hillary Clinton while we're finding out the present administration is having these problems is just a little more concerning.
It's a canard. His approval ratings are at an all-time low. Wall Street Journal poll that came out this morning. Trying to get through any tax reform, his trip to China, he is screwed right now. The narrative is completely out of control.
If he's innocent, Trump, which he claims that this is just a witch hunt and stuff, let's say your tax returns. Well, that will pretty much straighten the whole thing out.
I think that's true. And the thing is, we've danced. Wait a minute. We've danced around every single topic except what happened today, which is we have an indictment against Paul Manafort, who was the campaign chairperson for Donald Trump in March 2016, and Richard Gates. We're talking about millions and millions of dollars that were, that were money laundered. We're talking about meetings with the Russians. I mean, this is not about both sides. This is about this side. And I think we need to call it what it is.
Because it's easy to jump to the fact that, this guy was close to Trump. Shouldn't they be background checking? And this guy had an investigation in 2014. Isn't someone here to say this is
a lot of, but a lot
day-to-day operation?
They're not going to check on each other.
We'll be right back with more Hot Topics.
Coming up, Kathy Griffin unleashed. Her bombshell rant and shocking allegations against Andy Cohen and TMZ's Harvey Levin. Go on, just try to catch your breath, America. Because this will be even more terrifying than our political hot topics.
It's going to be a horror. A horror.
Yes, this will be.
Very scary.
Oh my God. Tomorrow, it's the To Die For Halloween spine-chilling spectacular.
We in danger, girl.
So, what will they wear? Who will they be? And what scary mad fun will JB Smoove and Yvette let Nicole Brown shock us with spooky. And we've even got your golden ticket with a performance from Broadway smash Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Whoa! Tomorrow, party with us on The View.
Well, like most of you, I just bought a house.
Oh, very nice.
Now I'm turning into my dad.
I text in full sentences.
I refer to every child as chief.
This hat was free. What am I supposed to do? Not wear it?
Next thing you know, I'm telling strangers defense wins championships.
Well, it does.
Why is the door open? Are we trying to air condition the whole neighborhood? At least I bundled home and auto on an internet website, Progressive.com.
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you bundle home and auto.
I mean, why would I replace this? It's not broken.
At the dinner table, nobody talks about football. I like to teach them there's more important things in life. My name is Ted Ginn. I eat Stouffer's lasagna, and I hunger to coach athletes into men. Stouffer's, what are you hungry for?
Try Nivea Essentially Enriched Body Lotion. The unique formula with nourishing almond oil leaves skin smoother. Moisturize for 24 hours. Enjoy smoother skin. And now try new oil-infused lotions. Moisturize with indulging scents.
Lots of vitamins A and C, and only 50 calories a serving. Good morning indeed. V8, the original way to fuel your day.
Go from gray roots to great roots at any angle with Root Touch-Up, the permanent root solution that blends with any shade in just 10 minutes. For touch-proof, sweat-proof roots that look great from any angle, even that one. Root Touch-Up.
Stop right there. I'm about to pop a cap of fresh in that washer. With Unstoppable's in-wash scent boosters by Downy. And if you want, pour a little more. Oh, it's so fresh. And it's gonna last from wash to wear for up to 12 weeks. Right? Freshness for weeks. Unstoppables by Downy. For a fresh too feisty to quit. Hey, B to the half, to the comb. Combing that honey into some gold. Put in the good, and the good will grow. Good goes around and around and around. Hey, good goes around and around. Hey.
There's a new mascara creating a buzz. L'Oreal's Lash Paradise. A soft, wavy bristle brush for a feathery, soft lash experience. Voluptuous volume. Intense length. Take your lashes to paradise. New Lash Paradise Mascara from L'Oreal Paris.
Okay. I never thought I'd say this, but I found bladder leak underwear that's actually pretty. Surprised? It's called Always Discreet Boutique. It looks and fits like my underwear. I know what you're thinking. How can something this pretty protect? Hidden inside is a super absorbent core that quickly turns liquid to gel for incredible protection. So I feel protected and pretty. New Always Discreet Boutique. Needles, essential for vinyl, but maybe not for people with rheumatoid arthritis, because there are options, like an injection. Xeljanz XR, a once-daily pill for adults with moderate to severe RA for whom methotrexate did not work well. Xeljanz XR can reduce pain, swelling, and further joint damage, even without methotrexate. Xeljanz XR can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections, lymphoma, and other cancers have happened. Don't start Xeljanz XR if you have an infection. Tears in the stomach or intestines, low blood cell counts, and higher liver tests and cholesterol levels have happened. Your doctor should perform blood tests before you start and while taking Xeljanz XR and monitor certain liver tests. Tell your doctor if you are in a region where fungal infections are common and if you have had TB, hepatitis B or C, or are prone to infections. Needles, a must for vinyl. But for you, one pill a day may provide symptom relief. Ask your doctor about Xeljanz XR, an injection.
Got a mass carnage coming in. Bus crash, 2 dozen passengers.
Love these blank faces right before Armageddon. Just like every first time. You're a little excited, a little nauseous. Hopefully nobody gets hurt.
We need to get her out of here now! He's bleeding out.
I need a decision.
Yeah! Be quiet!
The Good Doctor, all new tonight, 10/9 Central on ABC.
Still ahead, the millennial megachurch preacher who has A-list stars and thousands more flocking to him, Pastor Carl Lentz.
We will heal you in places you didn't even know you were broken.
And everything on today's You Deal is $20 or less.
So, Joy.
Yeah?
No, I hear you were on Bill Maher over the weekend.
Yeah.
And you took him to task because of why he thinks people like Harvey Weinstein become sexual predators. It's kind of fascinating. Take a look.
It's always married guys.
It's always married, yeah.
Just saying.
Why is that?
Because they have sex lives.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're not having a satisfactory...
They're bored at home. Is that
bored.
it? No. That's got nothing to do with it. So I went on to
explain what you were saying.
Well, what I was saying that basically when you hear these sexual allegations, what's his name? The guy who was doing something under the desk, Halperin.
Yeah.
Well, Halperin, and when you hear with Weinstein in the plants and all the disgusting things that they've done, it's like it has nothing to do with their wives. It has nothing to do with their sex life. You know, I mean, if sexual harassment was based on boring sex lives at home, everybody would be guilty.
And it's not just how people look; they also jump to like looks, and this is very predatory. It's about power,
right? Yeah. And it's funny. I mean, I had to explain it to my friend Bill Maher. I think he needed to hear it. Yeah, because men are men. You know, they think the way they think. A lot of them, not all of them. My husband, by the way, is totally on my page. You know, and men that I deal with.
Do you think that it's a lot of old-fashioned ideas that folks are still walking around with, this idea that, you know, if women dress differently, then nothing will happen to them, or if their wives, or if their wives are, you know, putting out that they're not going to be looking elsewhere. I mean,
if your wife's not putting out, you might have an affair, but that's different from sexual predatory behavior. It's different from using your power on an underling.
But isn't that just as bad as, isn't that thinking just as bad as the sexual behavior?
Well,
because you're blaming the woman. It is somehow always the woman's fault. It always ends up on the sticky
When
end of the
Gabrielle Union
lollipop.
came on, she was saying, like, there's this stigma about if you're the good girl, this won't happen to you. If you just don't dress this way, this won't happen to you. And it's amazing for me to even see people like Bill Maher, who are considered very progressive, to even say things like this publicly. I also hate the idea that all men sort of have this inside them, and all men are going to be sexual predators. They just have to realize and get help and get therapy. It's like, no, you just be a decent human being and maybe follow the regular rules of life in general.
A lot of it is just educating, I think, our boys, our sons, our brothers, our fathers, and it's a discussion that we haven't had in a long time, I think, in our homes, and it starts there. I remember learning, you know, as a prosecutor, that it's about power. Right. It's not about sex. Right. And a lot of my fellow male prosecutors were like, well, but there's the sex piece. And we were told, no, it's never about that. Well, it's always about using your power.
Well, the great thing that's happening is it is now very dangerous to do this to women. Yes. Women don't like it, and they will take you down. So they're not hiding. They're not holding out anymore. And that is the thing that will teach our sons. That is the thing that will teach men that this behavior is not acceptable. Right. Because women are saying, you know what? It used to not be, you know, okay to come out and talk about it. But now I'm not going to let you do it, because if I let you get away with it, who are you going to do it to next?
That's right.
And who are you going to do it to after that?
And Charles Blow today in the New York Times talks about male privilege. We often talk about white privilege, that, you know, because you're white, you can easily get an apartment in any building in any neighborhood. You can get a bank loan. You can do whatever you're not going to be discriminated based on your looks, on your color. You're not going to be, so men have a privilege also. Yes. The fact that they're big, the fact that they can strut around and that we're smaller than they are, the fact that they have access to women who are not in the position of power very often. These are the male privileges that men need to take in and understand, so that we're not alone in this.
So basically, as it turns out, we all have to look out for each other. Men and women have to look out for each other. Because men, don't think this doesn't happen to you. Well, this happens to men as well.
Men are coming forward
so
now as well.
we now have to realize that none of us are safe in this unless we're all safe.
Yeah.
None are safe unless we're all safe. And we'll be right back.
From the first moment you met, it was love at first touch. And all you wanted to do was surround them in comfort and protection. That's why only Pampers Swaddlers is the #1 choice of hospitals. To wrap your baby in blanket-like softness and premium protection. So that all they feel is love. Wishing you love, sleep, and play. Pampers.
When you're looking for answers, it's good to have help. Because the right information at the right time may make all the difference. At Humana, we know that's especially true when you're looking for a Medicare supplement insurance plan. That's why we're offering this fact-filled guide, 7 things every Medicare supplement should have. And it's yours free just for calling 1-888-309-7441. You see, Medicare covers only about 80% of your Part B medical expenses. The rest is up to you. That's why so many people purchase Medicare supplement insurance plans like those offered by Humana. They're designed to help you save money and pay some of the costs Medicare doesn't. Depending on the Medicare supplement plan you select, you could have no deductibles or copayments for doctor visits, hospital stays, emergency care, and more. You can keep the doctors you have now, ones you know and trust, with no referrals needed. Plus, you can get medical care anywhere in the country, even when you're traveling. With Humana, you get a competitive monthly premium and personalized service from a healthcare partner working to make healthcare simpler and easier for you. You can choose from a wide range of standardized plans. Each one is designed to work seamlessly with Medicare and help save you money. So how do you find the plan that's right for you? One that fits your needs and your budget. Call Humana now at 1-888-309-7441. That's 1-888-309-7441 for this free guide. It's just one of the ways that Humana is making healthcare simpler. And when you call, a knowledgeable licensed agent producer can answer any questions you have and help you choose the plan that's right for you. The call is free and there's no obligation. You know Medicare won't cover all your medical costs, so call now and see why a Medicare supplement plan from a company like Humana just might be the answer.
What makes a sauce ragu? Is it our 80-year heritage? Or is it the fresh taste born of farm-grown ingredients? Actually, it's both. Only then do you get to be called ragu, simmered in tradition.
Before I had the shooting, burning, pins and needles of diabetic nerve pain, these feet grew into a freewheeling kid, loved every step of fatherhood, and made old cars good as new. But I couldn't bear my diabetic nerve pain any longer. So I talked to my doctor, and he prescribed Lyrica.
Nerve damage from diabetes causes diabetic nerve pain. Lyrica is FDA approved to treat this pain, from moderate to even severe diabetic nerve pain. Lyrica may cause serious allergic reactions, suicidal thoughts, or actions. Tell your doctor right away if you have these, new or worse depression, unusual changes in mood or behavior, swelling, trouble breathing, rash, hives, blisters, muscle pain with fever, tired feeling, or blurry vision. Common side effects: dizziness, sleepiness, weight gain, swelling of hands, legs, and feet. Don't drink alcohol while taking Lyrica. Don't drive or use machinery until you know how Lyrica affects you. Those who've had a drug or alcohol problem may be more likely to misuse Lyrica.
Now I have less diabetic nerve pain, and I love smoothing the road ahead for others.
Ask your doctor about Lyrica.
Give me a break, give me a break, give me all the pieces that we have on.
Tomorrow, things are about to get very strange.
I thought morning TV was supposed to be safe.
GMA Halloween.
You guys hear that? I'm pretty afraid. Are you guys afraid? Mommy.
Strange things happen over there at GMA. We've never experienced a Halloween morning quite like this before.
They told me this was going to be fun, not terrifying. It's the scariest thing I've ever seen. I mean, like, ever.
Tomorrow, only on
Good morning, America!
actor Kevin Spacey of making sexual advances towards him when he was 14. Spacey said he doesn't remember, but apologized for what must have been a deeply inappropriate drunken behavior. So he also used the opportunity to come out as a gay man, which has got people's heads exploding because people are saying it's the wrong time to do it. You know, deal with what the accusation is, and then deal with coming out.
Because it was a two-part apology, right? He says, I honestly do not remember the encounter. It would have been over 30 years ago. But if I did behave then as he describes, I owe him the sincerest apology, and I'm sorry for the feelings he describes having carried with him all these years. But then the second part of the apology says, you know, I'm a gay man. And I think people tend to equate wrongfully homosexuality with pedophilia.
It takes a lot to remind people these have nothing to do with each other. So to hide under that and to say that was such a intellectually irresponsible thing to do. Your inkling toward, or your inclinations toward a 14-year-old have nothing to do with your sexual orientation.
Exactly.
That is predatory behavior. Back to Joy.
Why do you think he did that? Why did he link them up?
To try to like distract.
He's like Trump trying to distract with uranium. Same thing. It's a distraction. Take it off. Take the eye off of the ball and look at that as they go. Look at the squirrel over there.
Yeah,
that seems.
But even adding in the drunken part, like he couldn't just say it might have been deeply inappropriate behavior. He had to add in, and I might have been affected.
Well, that was Mel Gibson's excuse. Remember when he was accused of anti-Semitic behavior?
Yeah, he was.
But in vino veritas, you know, you can say, well, I was drunk, but in vino, you know what that means? Like when I'm drunk, I speak the truth.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder about that because when I used to get drunk, I never told the truth. So you never know.
In vino, not veritas.
In vino, not veritas. But the thing that people are concerned about is that, you know, you can say, listen, I don't remember it. It was 30 years ago. And if it did happen, I'm sorry. But you don't need to then say, and oh, by the way, I'm going to live my life as a gay man. Because it does give that conversation that people like to have about gay people and pedophilia. It gives them a reason to hold on to it. So it was really a dumb thing to say.
And Wanda Sykes said that you don't get to hide under the rainbow. The implication meaning that you don't get to come out and say you're gay when you've also been accused of pedophilia at the same time. Part of the problem, though, is you're saying with the distraction, Joy, it worked. There were a lot of headlines all over the internet saying Kevin Spacey comes out as gay, not even including these allegations. So it really did kind of work in his favor. And it's interesting that it just exacerbates, like you were saying, Sarah, really old stereotypes from the 50s about gay people and pedophilia, and it's so dangerous, and it's so, as you said,
and you linked it to the bathroom too. You said by planting fear, you've got people that are worried about going to the bathroom with a transgender person. They might touch your kids. Like there's all these false things. So he banked on everyone falling for that part and not hearing it was a 14-year-old boy.
For Kevin Spacey.
Was this his first time coming out as a gay man?
Well, it's sort of
not so good secret.
Really, it's like fooling no one all these years.
And on that note, we'll be right back.
Real cheese people are ham and Swiss people. Some love open-faced, others as big as your face. They're hot and cold, big and bold, thick and ultra-thin. But they would never make a sandwich with pasteurized processed cheese food. It's only required to contain 51% real cheese. Sargento slices are 100% real, natural cheese. They let sandwich lovers fly their Munster, cheddar, and Gouda flags high.
Sargento, natural cheese slices. We're real cheese people.
I'm never going to be able to sleep with this cold. I'll take a sick day to borrow.
On our daughter's birthday?
Moms don't take sick days. Moms take NyQuil Severe. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine.
In this home, we count our blessings.
This one.
Both when there's a little and a lot.
There you go.
What matters most is made at home, now with more icing.
Even if you're taking daily maintenance therapy, asthma symptoms can still feel like a bear hug, day in and day out. So ask your doctor about adding Spiriva Respimat, the mist that may help loosen the grip of asthma. Spiriva Respimat is steroid-free. It helps relax and open asthma-constricted airways a full 24 hours. And that may mean significantly better breathing and fewer asthma attacks. Spiriva Respimat will not replace a rescue inhaler for sudden symptoms. Stop taking Spiriva Respimat and call your doctor right away if your breathing suddenly worsens, your throat or tongue swells, you get hives, have vision changes or eye pain, or problems passing urine. Tell your doctor if you have kidney problems, significantly better breathing, and fewer asthma attacks. Spiriva Respimat will not replace a rescue inhaler for sudden symptoms. Stop taking Spiriva Respimat and call your doctor right away if your breathing suddenly worsens, your throat or tongue swells, you get hives, have vision changes or eye pain, or problems passing urine. Tell your doctor if you have kidney problems, glaucoma, trouble urinating, or an enlarged prostate. These may worsen with Spiriva Respimat. Side effects include sore throat, sinus infection, bronchitis, and headache. Do not take Spiriva Respimat with other anticholinergic medicines. Get your breathing upgrade. Ask your doctor about adding Spiriva Respimat today.
It's all pop culture trivia, but it gets pretty intense.
The new guy. Wow.
He looks exactly like me.
No.
Separated at birth much? We should switch name tags and no one would know who is who.
Jamie, you seriously think you look like him?
I'm pretty good with comparisons. Like how Progressive helps people save money by comparing rates, even if they're not the lowest. Whoa! Wow. I mean, the outfit helps, but pretty great. Look at us.
TV's #1 new drama, The Good Doctor, tonight on ABC.
The CMA Awards, live Wednesday, November 8th on ABC.
Choosing the right Medicare Advantage plan is important. That's why Blue Cross Blue Shield has plans for every budget, including a new $0 premium plan with prescription drug coverage, a full network of doctors and hospitals, and the benefits you want most, all from the local health plan with a card recognized in 50 states. So why wouldn't you switch to Blue and save? Call or visit one of our new Medicare centers today. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Western New York. Live fearless.
Tonight's class is on two sacraments, the sacrament of marriage and the blessing of the sick. Or as I like to call it, till death do us part. Well, at least he asked you to marry him, honey. Because you were burning up your pretty time, weren't you? Huh? And welcome to the compatibility game!
Don't miss the latest chapter in the hilarious Late Night Catechism series, November 7th through 12th at Shea Smith Theater.
Harassed by debt collectors? The law offices of Kenneth Hiller can help.
Debt collectors harass people in a number of ways. They call your cell phone, your relatives, or your boss. Or they threaten to sue you or try to collect debts you don't even owe. For 25 years, I've helped consumers obtain compensation for harassment by debt collectors. And the debt collector pays my fees. If you're being harassed by a debt collector, let's talk about your rights.
Call the law offices of Kenneth Hiller today.
No one does Halloween like The View. So how are we getting everyone from Hillary Clinton to Sean Spicer in on the fun this year? And who's riding into the studio on a white horse? Find out on Halloween at The View tomorrow.
Hey, welcome back. You know, Halloween kicks off the holiday season, and I'm back with my holiday sweater. And there are 12 different ones, 12 different designs.
I look so awkward pointing.
Maybe mine was looking even worse.
Well,
they're very cute.
Some have hoodies, some have pockets. They're really great.
Soft.
They're being sold at Zappos this year.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to let you know, because we're going to come back and throughout the year, the end of the year, we'll tell you more about them. But they are online today. And so if you want to get a jump on everything and buy them, they're really well priced. So, and there's, this is my favorite. This is my favorite. It's called Baby Black Santa. It's so
And they're really soft. I mean, they're really soft.
Yeah.
I lived in mine last year. I mean, I just had it on all the time.
What's interesting is one of the things that happens when people go for holiday sweaters is if the sweater starts to feel like the material is not good, people aren't going to get them. And so what we wanted to do was make sure that if nothing else, you could wear it without
Anything
a shirt.
it feels like a blanket.
You wanna be comfortable. And you know, I did 12 designs this year, and I do them all, and they're odd and weird, and yeah, that's what it is. They're sassy and fun, and you know, we'll tell you more later on but they're on now. We'll be right back.
No one does Halloween like The View. So how are we getting everyone from Hillary Clinton to Sean Spicer in on the fun this year? And who's riding into the studio on a white horse? Find out on Halloween at The View tomorrow.
Hey, so welcome back. You know, Halloween kicks off the holiday season, and I'm back with my holiday sweaters. And there are 12 different ones, 12 different designs.
I look so awkward. Pointing.
Maybe the design is looking even worse.
Well,
they're very cute.
Some have hoodies, some have pockets. They're really great.
Soft.
They're being sold at Zappos this year.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to let you know, because we're going to come back and throughout the year, the end of the year, we'll tell you more about them. But they are online today. And so if you want to get a jump on everything and buy them, they're really well priced. So,
And there's...
there they are. There they are. This is my favorite.
Sassy.
This is my favorite. It's called Baby Black Santa.
It's so good. And they're really soft. I mean, they're really soft.
Yeah.
I lived in mine last year. I mean,
Well,
I
but
just
you
had
know
it on
what?
all the time.
What's interesting is one of the things that happens when people go for holiday sweaters is if the sweater starts to feel like the material is not good, people aren't going to get them. And so what we wanted to do was make sure that if nothing else, you could wear it without
anything.
a shirt.
It feels like a blanket.
You want to be comfortable. And you know, I did 12 designs this year, and I do them all, and they're odd and weird, and yeah, that's what it is. They're sassy and fun, and you know, we'll tell you more later on but they're on now. We'll be right back.
Next, a preacher who rolls with Bieber, Jay-Z, and sports superstars? Pastor Carl Lentz on the message from his millennial megachurch that's packing them in. It's not politics as usual around this table.
There's a fracture in your party. I don't think it's about gender. I think it's about leadership.
And we're not afraid to talk about anything.
Mr. Trump said he would fight back, and it wouldn't be pretty. Are you scared?
I mentioned that had faced greater challenges.
Yeah. The political hot topics round here are
Hot is hot.
And this week, Jackie Spear on sexual harassment in Washington. Plus Chris Matthews and Keith Olbermann face the ladies. Oh, it is on.
Boom, start the conversation.
This week on The View. Oh my God!
Introducing the new Turn Back Time Prize from Publishers Clearinghouse. Win and we'll turn back time and give you 10 years of back payments immediately. That's $2.6 million.
They'll pay a lot of bills.
Then the payments continue with $5,000 a week for life.
Are you serious?
Watch your mail or go to pch.com and enter. December 22nd, you could turn back time and win for life.
Here's the story of Green Mountain Coffee Roasters who...
Live tonight, it's Halloween Eve. And if that doesn't scare you, Team Dances will make you boogie.
I can just see terror.
Dancing Halloween, live ABC tonight.
Pastor Carl Lentz is not your mama's preacher. He's a leather jacket wearing, bike riding, buff hipster who rolls with music's A-list, celebrities, and sports superstars. He even baptized Justin Bieber in an NBA player's bathtub. The Hillsong Millennial Megachurch he presides over packs them in by the thousands every weekend to hear him spread the word in a way no one's ever heard.
We always figured we're going to reach everybody here. We say from the faceless to the famous.
Well, amen. Please welcome author of the new book, Own the Moment, Pastor Carl Lentz.
Before we even get started, you really don't look like any pastor that I've ever seen.
Yes.
Unless, well, priests sometimes, they sort of dress like this when they're not, you know, in the collar. But this is the way you dress normally, and...
No, I normally have a collar.
You
and
do?
a robe. No, I'm kidding. We just kind of try to be ourselves at all times. And, I've heard that before, that we don't look typical.
So you have heard it before,
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
He's got tattoos.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Some are stickers, some are real.
Oh, they're
I've
What
got,
do they
through the
say?
years I've got some tattoos. Most of them have to do with my family. Just
How
little,
many do you have?
a couple. Maybe 10, 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hillsong is seen as this hip, progressive church that's drawing huge millennial crowds, but it's still evangelical. So where do you stand on social issues that young people are particularly passionate about, like gay marriage, abortion? Like, how do you address those types of things?
So we're going to go right there.
Yeah, I thought we'll go hard
Yeah.
and then we'll come down.
It's only an
hour show.
Do I need to ring that bell? I think our job is still to help people, not necessarily change how they think, but try to point them to what God has said, what we believe the Bible to say. And it's hard because I grew up in a church system, and I know a lot of people here probably understand where discussion and conversation is really limited. So you get told a lot of views, but you can't work it out. So we believe that the Bible's clear, that God is good, that God loves everybody, that Jesus was here to set people free, and that's still the good news of the gospel. Our fight in New York, for instance, is to try to make sure everybody can get in and hear it, because we've been told if you disagree, you are disconnected. And we don't believe that. We believe everybody deserves the right. Who told me that?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody told me that. I think that's the cultural, religious norm right now, is if you and I disagree, we're done. And I don't believe it has to be the case.
You feel that the religious groups are putting that out?
I do. Yeah, and other sides. I think people right now are so caught up in disunity on every front that it's also kind of invaded the church world. And what I love about our church is you have different races, different faces, different backgrounds, but people are committed to one cause, and it makes our
So
church
it's not a sin in your church to have an abortion?
that's the kind of conversation we would have, finding out your story, where you're from, what
Work
you
through
believe.
it, like talk about
I
things.
mean, God's the judge. People have to live to their own convictions, and I think if I have to tell you, that's such a broad question to me. I'm going higher. I want to sit with somebody and say, where do you believe?
So it's not an open and shut case with you?
Some people would say it is. I think to me, I'm trying to teach people who Jesus is first, find out their story. Before I start picking and choosing what I think is sin in your life, I'd like to know your name.
Well, you know, we have a debate on, we've talked to other religious leaders on this show about whether politics and religion mix together. We do have the separation of church and state. So you're really not supposed to endorse any candidates, for example, from the pulpit.
Yeah.
Do you do that, or how do you feel about that?
I don't want to get in trouble. We keep it really straight-laced. No, I think at our church, when people say keep politics out of the pulpit, I say, what do you mean by that? Because politics affects people.
Yeah.
So if that's happening, you better believe we're going to talk about politics. To not do that in a church setting, to me,
Where's the line? Where's the line where you infringe upon the separation of church and state?
My dad's a lawyer, so Dad, if you want to text me right now if I'm getting into hot water, I don't know. I feel like Jesus came to destroy the political norm of the day. So since I'm a Christian, I believe we're still supposed to speak directly to politics, and things that affect people, they should be talked about in our church. So I'm just going to preach what I feel is right.
I don't argue with you. But
no, I'm not even arguing. I'm just saying that's how I do it.
If you endorse, let's say, President Trump from the pulpit, you are infringing upon that particular law of the separation of church and state. Am I right?
First of all, I didn't do that, but I wouldn't do that.
Just saying that would be the line.
Well, in our church, we wouldn't do that anyway. I wouldn't say you have to vote for this candidate.
All right, that's what I'm driving at. So you would not do that.
No, absolutely.
Although I have to say, you know, in the black church, politics has always been an instrumental part of the word and of preaching, because it affects the black community, because it affects the church community. I grew up knowing that this was something that would be discussed in the church.
Yeah, but you can't name a person to vote for because your tax exemption will go out the window.
That's different.
All right,
I agree. That's
Let's
different.
Be clear.
But you know, one thing that I really want to commend you on is that you have been very vocal in support of Black Lives Matter and against racism in this country. And while many Christian leaders, in my view, really stayed silent after Charlottesville, you did not. You called out President Trump on Twitter. And I thought that was very brave. And I wondered, did you worry about losing parishioners? And also, did you get a lot of pushback for that?
Yeah, yes. Yes and yes. I think it's my job. I think you guys spoke briefly before about white privilege. I think that I have a double issue with white privilege and preacher privilege, because if you're white in this country, you do have a platform, others don't. If you're a preacher, you also now have people that are going to listen to you even more. And I believe you because they believe you're a religious figure. So I thought it was my job to at least speak what is obvious. I think there's a lot more logical people in our country than people realize right now. That when you look at Charlottesville, when you look at some of the issues of race in our country, people are going, are we serious? Like, of course this is an issue. Of course this is wrong. Of course you can't look at Charlottesville and say, hey, let's slow down. There are good people on all sides. No, we have an issue. And some of that stuff needs to be said up front, out loud, no matter what you believe, no matter what your background. We got some racial problems. And the issue is that there are people who are trying to act like this isn't real. And I think we're just part of the really normal, logical majority right now in our country that are saying, no, we're not going to ignore this. We're going to at least talk about it. So I believe it's my duty as a Christian pastor to at least speak truth, regardless of if people like it or hate it, come or go. We got to do what's right.
Well, we also saw a lot of pictures when we first started that you've got tons of celebrity friends. One particular we've seen you with a lot is Justin Bieber.
Who's that? What's his name?
But he was all over the headlines this summer because he canceled part of a tour, and you've been with him, very close to him. You've been on the ride kind of through his ups and downs. Can you tell us how he's doing?
He's doing good. I think he's been famous for a long time, and we've seen what fame can do to people in this culture, and the fact that he's as kind and as humble as he is with his failure, as much as he is with his success. I think a lot of the stuff about Justin you read wouldn't be true. A lot of the great stuff he does wouldn't be seen, and he's got his own stuff that he's had to own publicly where he has made mistakes. But if anybody judges him, I often say, shudder at the thought of maybe if your life was on the front page when you were his age, or really right now. I mean,
we've all got stuff.
Yeah, we've got stuff. So I think he's doing well. I think he is who he is. He's a guy getting better day by day, like all of us.
That's great.
What do you say? What do you do for him, first of all? And then do you, two questions. What do you do? Don't forget about this question. Let's ask this question. You get some flack for cozying up to celebrities?
Only people say that I'm cozying up.
Well, I'm using that word because that's what people use. I don't use it.
Yeah.
They're saying you cozy up. Is that true? Do you feel that?
No, I think that's what people say when they don't understand something. So if you don't know something, if it's far away, it's distorted. The only way you're going to figure it out is if you intentionally, try to go find out for yourself. So we don't cozy up to anybody. We love everybody.
Celebrities need just as much help as everybody else.
What am I supposed to do? Say you're too famous for me to say hi to?
Sometimes maybe more so, right?
Yeah.
Well, our thanks to Pastor Carl Lentz. His new book, Own the Moment, is available tomorrow. And guess what? Our entire audience is going home with a copy.
It's never too early to stretch your holiday budget on View Your Deal. Because we partnered with vendors to offer everything for $20 or less.
Hey, honey. How's practice?
Good.
Must have been hot out there today, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you go put that stuff in the laundry room right now?
Do your athlete?
The new
You to pay the decision guide. He doesn't pay. On its
slippers, slides, and dollars. And
on it's scary. The Jew.
Is the kickoff of the holiday season, which can get expensive. So we partnered with vendors to stretch your holiday budget by offering everything today for $20 or less. You heard me right. Only $20, and it's only while supplies last. So let's get shopping with lifestyle expert and my favorite, Greta Monahan.
Well, nothing is expensive today.
I love that.
Face Plant Dreams. Check these out, Sarah.
I've been feeling them the whole time.
So these are plush, cozy slippers, slides, and look at you even can do a little flip-flop style.
Oh, look at the paw.
These are incredible because they're just so cozy. You can keep your toes cozy. They're great. They come in great patterns, colors, and even fun little sayings. They're adorable. And also these little bamboo socks. They're
the wine glass.
Smooth socks. Aren't they cute?
I like my wine closer to my mouth.
Match them up with your personality. Really cute. Original price on these $13 to $38. Today's deal $5 to $19. Oh
my God.
50%. Aren't they great? And so easy to size.
These are my favorite deal of all time.
Watch-itude slap watches. She goes crazy for these. All right. So these, we have 20 styles. Check it out. These are an analog watch, analog quartz
ever.
And you can express your style because they just come with these little glossy straps. My son loves them, and they're great for all ages, you guys. They just make people smile. You said it. A little black outfit.
It's just like
slap them on.
the flip watch.
It's easy. It's fun.
Your whole outfit will be about this watch.
And that's the thing. It just zhuzhes up everything. I love it. And these are great gifts because they come. Look at the packaging. Packaging is great. Original price on these, $22. Today's deal, $11. Savings up. Look at Look at who's there.
Whoopi, do you see the flip watches?
Tervis assorted. Come on, we can check this. Tervis tumblers. Have you seen these? Look at her go. Double insulated.
Yes.
Singles and sets. Look at you come.